Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k17 Universe Mode. I'm BrendenPlayz, and this is NXT, the final stop before the NXT Takeover special coming away this weekend, right here on BrendenPlayz. But first up here tonight on NXT, we're going to have one half of the tag team champions, Akam, go up against one half of the #1 contenders from Sanity, Eric Young. And a bit of a preview what to expect when these two teams collide at TakeOver. The Authors of Pain versus Sanity for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Billie Kay will go one-on-one with Ember Moon, who just missed out on becoming the #1 contender. Elias Sampson in action against No Way Jose. And we're going to have ourselves some cruiserweight action. Tyson Kidd going one-on-one against Chavo, Guerrero, the #1 contender for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, of course. The champion Grandmaster League will be in Kidd's corner and Pete Dunne in Guerrero's corner. And our main event, the NXT Women's Champion has a chance to prove that she is ready for Bayley at NXT Takeover. She's up against Carmella tonight. Akam versus Young. Akam gets the victory. Billie Kay versus Ember Moon. It is going to be Ember Moon with a bit of a fight-back victory. She needed that one. Elias Sampson versus No Way Jose. It is No Way Jose with victory. Great test tonight for Tyson Kidd, who's one of the newest members of the NXT roster. Coming up from the main roster, and I suppose you maybe could say it's a demotion. It's a chance to revive his career. It's a chance to get things back on track for himself. And so far, he's been dealing with Pete Dunne. He's had his issues with Pete Dunne ever since he arrived through the door of NXT. Pete Dunne has made it, I guess, a bit of a mission to make sure that Tyson Kidd does not take his spot as one of the top cruiserweights here in NXT. Pete Dunne has just, I guess, got a bit of a bone to pick with the veteran of Tyson Kidd. And, well, to describe Pete Dunne, it's basically a young, cocky, arrogant kid who's looking to dethrone the veterans of NXT, the young and up-and-coming stars of NXT, just to prove that he's the next big thing. Well, this man, speaking of veterans, he has been around this business for decades. He's done it all. But he wants one last swan song, and since the NXT now has the Cruiserweight Championship in its home, Chavo Guerrero looking to come to NXT to prove that he is the greatest Cruiserweight of all time. Everyone's been talking about Grandmaster League and how dominant he has been, how impressive he's been as the Cruiserweight Champion. Well, Chavo believes that he can beat him. He believes that he will prove that at the end of the day, Chavo will prove that he is indeed one of, if not the greatest Cruiserweight champion in his mind. He believes that, you know, he was one of the last Cruiserweight champions many years ago. He's done it all. And he believes that even all these years later, he can come back and still be the very best in NXT. That's what Chavo's here to prove. He's here to prove that he can beat Grandmaster League. And Chavo is pretty impressive already since coming back here to the WWE here in NXT. He's been quite impressive, obviously earning himself the #1 contendership spot. And a win here tonight for Chavo will give him a lot of confidence against a very tough contender in Tyson Kidd, who himself would like to become an NXT Cruiserweight Champion at some point. That's the goal for all four of these superstars involved. And Chavo believes that he's the best, and now it's time to prove it. Oh, beautiful power slam there by Tyson Kidd. Well, it's a tough challenge for Chavo. Obviously, he has, you know, certainly impressed. You think a guy who's getting close to retirement, if not, you know, 1 foot out the door maybe, a guy that perhaps knows that this is his last chance, his last run. He's giving it his all. Maybe he knows that at the end of the day, when it comes to TakeOver, he wants to make sure that he leaves it all in the ring. Every last ounce of energy, every last, you know, big move that he's got, he wants to make sure that he gets it done in the ring, and he wants to leave nothing on the table. As Chavo was sent to the outside with a clothesline by Tyson Kidd. Back in the ring now, Tyson Kidd with a few more kicks to maintain control. And this is good. As now, suplex there by Tyson Kidd, and we know how technically gifted Tyson Kidd is in the ring. Chavo has that technical ability himself, which will be very hard to deal with here tonight for Tyson. But Grand Metalik has the high-flying ability. He's the master of the ropes. And he can do things in the ring that not many can do. And Chavo will probably be experiencing something very different for the first time in his career. And that is Grand Metalik, a very, very tough opponent. And Metalik has been, well, yes, he's run through the entire division. Many are wondering, will he ever lose the championship? Can he be beaten? We thought Pete Dunne might be the man. It wasn't. Chavo, oh, went for a splash. Missed out. Tyson Kidd countering. So it's tough. It is tough. But as a now clothesline by Chavo, returning the favor. Tyson Kidd sent to the outside, and there you go, Chavo. A bit of arrogance on display. And that's what he's been all about. He's really made no bones about it. He's come here to prove that he's the best. And he'll tell anyone who wants to listen that he is the best, that he's the greatest. Now, whether you believe that or not, that doesn't matter. But Chavo, in his own mind, he does believe it. And he wants to prove it at TakeOver. And you've got to respect that he's come here to prove it. He's not going to mouth off about it and not come to the dance and try and prove that he is the best. At least he showed up. At least he's here. Despite the age, despite the wear and tear on the body, but perhaps despite the limitations that he has, he's still coming here to show that he can hang with the young kids, the new generation of superstars here at NXT. And you've got to respect that, but maybe not respect the way that Chavo's gone about it and the disrespect that Chavo has shown to a great champion of Grand Metalik. Chavo now going for a suplex. And nope, Tyson Kidd countering into the neck breaker. And Chavo perhaps thinking about those three amigos, but he couldn't quite connect the first one. And you need the first one if you want all three. Tyson Kidd up to the challenge. He knows that they're probably coming, so he's making sure that he blocks any opportunity that Chavo gets when he attempts it. He's up top now. Tyson Kidd showing us his high-flying ability. Tyson Kidd, oh, off the top of the rope, launching. And a bit of a missile launched by Tyson Kidd. It was his fist, though, and launched straight into the Chavo, who is still down afterwards. Now Kidd looking to perhaps put Chavo away. Tyson Kidd has a chance to beat him right here, but Chavo, big counter there by Chavo. Now the sliding kick into Tyson Kidd. Couldn't take him off his feet, though. It's now Chavo. Here comes a suplex. There's one. Oh, boy. He tried this early. It didn't quite work. The second, looking for the third. The three amigos, 3 suplexes in a row from Chavo. And now he might be looking to put an end to it. He's up top. 5-star frog splashes are coming. Chavo. Taunts to the crowd. Chavo. Oh, he took too much time. Tyson Kidd knew it was coming and avoided it. Saving the match for himself. If Chavo hits that, it's all over. That's exactly what he needs at TakeOver against Grand Metalik. He needs to find that 5-star frog splash and put his opponent away. Tyson Kidd now springs off the ropes with the elbow drop. Missed out. Kidd now in some trouble here after a few misses. Chavo, Guerrero, the 3 amigos. Chavo starting to gain a lot of momentum in this one. Oh, yes. Chavo planting down Tyson Kidd, and this is getting really bad here for Tyson. Chavo now. Is he going to go for it again? Another one. Yep, he's going for 3 again. Well, we have Suplex City from Brock Lesnar counting all the German suplexes. We might need a suplex counter here from Chavo tonight. The Amigo counter, maybe. There's 6 suplexes in a short space of time as Kidd kicked out again, though. Chavo can't believe it, but perhaps the frog splash is required. Chavo going up top now. Tyson Kidd is down. Chavo, has he got one more 5-star frog splash left in him? No, he doesn't, because Tyson Kidd gets back to his feet. Elbow connecting now. Well, Tyson Kidd at TakeOver will meet Pete Dunne one-on-one. Pete Dunne out here scouting his opponent. And of course, Metalik and Chavo for the Cruiserweight Championship. That will also be taking place as well. So far, Pete Dunne not getting himself involved. A little surprising, but he probably hasn't needed to because Chavo's doing it all by himself. German suplex there by Chavo, adding some variety to the suplex counter maybe. Look at Chavo. Look at the arrogance here on Chavo. Just having a rest, sitting in the corner, not even concerned. He feels as though he's got this wrapped up. Tyson Kidd trying to revive his struggling career. He failed on the main roster to really make it on a solo act. He had some good performances, but just couldn't string together the frequent wins that he needed to remain as a top contender for any championship. He was successful in the tag division with Cesaro, of course, but once that ended, Tyson Kidd just couldn't quite make it on his own. And because of that, he found himself without a contract on Raw and SmackDown. Neither brand was interested in picking him up, but NXT was, knowing that he could be a valuable asset to this cruiserweight division. Oh, what about that from Tyson Kidd? Into the neck breaker. Now, looking to perhaps go for the big move to put Chavo away here. This will be huge. A massive loss for Chavo. Tyson Kidd went for the plex, and oh! Chavo with a counter. Tyson Kidd down, falls with an elbow drop, and Chavo keeps him down and just refuses to let his stranglehold on this match be released. Up to the top now, looking for the 5-star. Chavo, can he connect this time? 5-star frog splash. Yes! He gets it. The 5-star frog splash, but where's the cover? Wanted one extra stomp. That's all he needed, perhaps the extra stomp. And hey, Great Metalik's getting himself involved. Metalik getting himself involved, trying to help Tyson Kidd. Well, I'm not sure about that. Great Metalik doesn't want his takeover opponent to get the upper hand here. Chavo didn't get it done thanks to Metalik. Well, how about another one, he says. Let's go for a second in a row. Another 5-star, another stomp to follow it up. I think he needs the stomp for whatever reason. Is it a stomp for good luck, maybe? It worked, though. Chavo, this time it works. This time he gets the win. And this time, Chavo Guerrero puts Tyson Kidd away. And that is one of the biggest wins that Chavo could get just before Takeover. Huge victory. And it means that Tyson Kidd, another blemish to his record, and it's going to be tough for him to come back and win this thing at Takeover against Pete Dunne, who has been a dominant superstar in his own right. You got to be impressed though with Chavo, the veteran, still notching up the big victories, still showing us that he's got plenty of gas left in the tank, but has he got enough to beat the absolute best here in NXT, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Great Metalik, the one and only one champion, Chavo. Can he become the second champion in the Cruiserweight division? Well, speaking of champions, here is your NXT champion, the glorious one. It's Bobby Roode, who addresses his Takeover opponent, Tye Dillinger. This weekend, I defend the NXT Championship once again against a man that I've already beaten. A man that I know that I can beat at the biggest stage, Tye Dillinger. I'm not out here tonight to tell you all why I can beat Tye Dillinger. You all know that I'm better than Tye. You all know that I am really the perfect 10, and Tye Dillinger is as good as about a 7.5. He's not bad, but he's not great. I am great. In fact, you could say that I'm glorious. And this weekend, I'm going to show each and every one of you why I am truly the best in NXT. But I want to come out here tonight, and I want to send a bit of a message. I want to send a statement out to the Raw and SmackDown general managers. I want them to come to NXT Takeover this weekend, and I want them to sit, and I want them to watch me in action. And I want them to realize just how good I really am. Because I've been getting offers from the Raw General Manager Christian, from the SmackDown General Manager Edge. They've been low-balling me. Currently, I'm the highest paid superstar in NXT. I should be getting paid more. I shouldn't have to take a pay cut to move up to the main roster. But if I want to leave NXT, which is something that I'm nearly ready to do. I've beaten everyone there is to beat in NXT. There's nobody left for me to beat. I know I can beat Tye Dillinger. The only reason why I remain in NXT is because my contract on Raw and SmackDown is not going to have as many dollar signs next to it, and that is an issue for me. I work for money. I compete for the money. I compete here in NXT because I get paid more in NXT than on the main roster. But when I compete at TakeOver this weekend, I want Raw's general manager and SmackDown's general manager to rethink their offer, rethink their decision, because I want them to realize just how valuable I really am. And after TakeOver, when I beat Tye Dillinger, I want to have a meeting, and I want them to offer me the contract that I truly deserve. And I want to take my place in the main event of SummerSlam, where I belong. The main events of Survivor Series, of WrestleMania. I want to be the #1 guy in the WWE. And I am truly the best in NXT, and I know I can be the best on Raw or SmackDown. But I'm not leaving until I get the money that I deserve. So if I have to keep beating 7.5s and Tye Dillinger until I get what I want, then so be it. But I will get the money that I deserve, and once I do, I'm going to take over this entire company. If you thought NXT was bad, well, this is just going to be the beginning. So I want Christian and Edge to be there to watch me and give me what I deserve. Well, Bobby Roode, he wants to move to the main roster. He believes he's ready, but he's not getting the money that he thinks he's worth. So he's going to remain here in NXT, but he wants competition. He's tired of beating the same old guys. I think he's sending a message for everyone here in NXT to step up their game. The arrogance of Bobby Roode on display again, though. He believes that he's already got his match with Tye Dillinger won. I don't know about that. Main event time here on NXT, as our NXT Women's Champion is in action as she prepares for Bayley at TakeOver. Asuka, one of the absolute best we've ever seen in the women's division in NXT. She's really starting to come into her own now after a bit of a shaky start. She's starting to really prove that she is the best. Well, we have the returning Bayley competing against her at TakeOver for that championship she has around her waist. And Asuka believes that she will remain the champion. Well, I'm not sure about that, but Asuka has proved to be a very, very tough competitor in recent times. Many believe that she could be an absolute star on the main roster in the women's division. But for now, she's conquering here in NXT. Meanwhile, Bayley, though, she's got, I think, her mind is really set on moving up to that main roster. She tried to get a contract there, but she failed. She missed out. Unfortunately, for her sake, she was not wanted. The Raw and SmackDown general manager weren't willing to offer her a deal. They didn't feel as though there was space for her on the roster, and she has to wait her turn. So that's why she's back here in NXT. She wanted to move up, and we all thought she was going to, but it didn't quite work out for her. Well, this woman, Carmella, she's certainly someone that can move up herself. She's had a lot of impressive performances, but without really picking up the consistent victories. She's shown that she can really take any superstar here in the women's division here in NXT to the absolute limits. Of course, we saw her really take Nia Jax to the limit as champion, of course, and Carmella continues to prove that she's a big threat. But the wins have not quite been there. You can have the best performances in the world, but it's all about getting the W. And if she can't get the wins, she's not going to get those titles. She's not going to get the accolades that she needs if she's going to be a legitimate threat here in NXT. But the performances have been there. And sometimes it just takes one win to change the game, to change your career, and change your life. Maybe that could be tonight for Carmella. She won't get the title shot at the upcoming TakeOver special, but she could certainly throw herself in the mix later on. So this is an important match here for Asuka tonight. Carmella shot to the gut to start things off, and a facebuster there. Nice way to kick this match off here for Carmella. Obviously, Asuka the much more aggressive out of the two, much more dominant, much more experienced out of the two as well. Asuka's been all around Japan, of course. Plenty of experience there. Dominated in Japan. Now, she's just started to begin her dominance in NXT. It took her some time, as we said. Things weren't exactly going her way last season here in NXT, but things are certainly improving this time around. Defeating Nia Jax for the championship and really starting to show that she's ready. She's ready to carry this division. But Bayley, she's not ready to leave just yet. She's still here, and she wants to prove, I think, yes, to prove that she's the best in NXT, but also to send a bit of a message to the Raw and SmackDown GMs. A few people got a bit of a message for them coming up at TakeOver. She wants to prove that hey, that she belongs on that main roster and perhaps competing for that women's championship up on the main roster. But meanwhile, Carmella! Missile drop kick there. Excellent move there by Carmella, and has Asuka in a bit of trouble here. Missed the first kick attempt, but she got her on the second time. Trying to pick her up now. Here we go, attempted suplex. Asuka with a counter, blocking it, and connects with one of her own instead. Well, Asuka, she has Bayley, and to be honest, you'd think Asuka will probably beat her on paper. The more dominant, the more aggressive, the more dangerous that Asuka gets, the tougher she is to beat. And Bayley, well, she's a very kind, spirited person. And sometimes it's hard for her to take it to that next level, and she's going to need to against Asuka. And perhaps that's why the main roster general managers have been a little bit hesitant. I'm not sure. Maybe they're not really willing to take a bet on her because of that hesitance, because of her personality, of who she is. Maybe they believe she doesn't have that killer instinct to be successful on the main roster. Here's the cover by Carmella. Obviously, the main roster women have been absolutely ruthless. We know Nia Jax is up there now. She's moved up here from NXT to the main roster and having immediate success. We've seen what Charlotte's capable of doing. Sasha Banks as well. What she'll do, the lengths that she'll go to be champion, as now a suplex by Asuka. German suplex connecting. As now Carmella back to her feet as Asuka, oh, trying to connect there and deliver that shot there to Carmella, but missed out. And Carmella, I mean, she's really got the ability to step up here and make it on her own. She's obviously been affiliated with Enzo and Cass over the years, and the last year or so she's really tried to strive and be a successful women's superstar here in NXT on her own, but she hasn't exactly had the wins, as we said. But you can't deny her ability, you can't deny her effort. And sometimes effort is not enough, but at least she doesn't roll over and go down easily. She always fights. As now Carmella trying to put her away, wraps the legs around Asuka's head, but Asuka was able to stay out of trouble thanks to the rope break. Her foot was underneath the rope, and because of that, she survives. Shot there by Asuka, and now Carmella. And she's going to get met with a suplex. No, Carmella countering. Carmella now from behind. And drops her down. And the knee into the backside of Asuka. And now, well, there you go. Talk about ruthless and that killer instinct. Well, picking your opponent's head up and just slamming into the mat. That's exactly what we're going to need to see from Bayley. Just willing to do whatever it takes. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it needs to be effective. That's what we know that we'll see from Asuka. Carmella realizes that, and she's trying to replicate some of that here in this matchup. Asuka now met with a shot there by Carmella, and now inverted DDT. This has been good here from Carmella, matching it right now with the champion. This is exactly what she needed to do. If she's going to win here, she needs to step up. Now a big kick to the gut of Asuka, and she's in some trouble here. Carmella really has a lot of offense going right now. Looking to go up to the top of the rope. Looking to fly here. Looking to perhaps win this thing. Carmella tries to drop the legs, but she misses out. Asuka scattered it out, and she was ready for it. Big miss there by Carmella. That will be disappointing for her. She had a bit of a roll on there. Perhaps a chance to really beat the champ. A kick out of two there. And now, a shot to the back there with the knee. Carmella missing the right hand. Asuka, this is the type of match she needed. We've seen this before out of Carmella. She always seems to take the #1 contenders or the champions to the absolute limit. She's been one of the toughest competitors to beat. And a really crucial challenge if you are going on to challenge the champion. Carmella seems to be the one that many have to try and go through. And she's so difficult to beat, and she's proving that right now. Asuka is in some major trouble here. Carmella could pull off a huge upset. Carmella now rolls her over. Could beat here. Asuka in some trouble. Cover now. Can Carmella do it? No, a kick out again by Asuka. Bayley will be watching on here, trying to pinpoint some weaknesses out of Asuka. Trying to show that she is ready to fight Asuka, and that's what she's going to have to do. She'll be in a fight. And Asuka needs this win right here, just to show that she's ready herself. A loss here, and I think that will give Bayley a lot of confidence, and can perhaps convince herself that maybe she does have a big chance here. Maybe she can beat Asuka. And for the sake of her career, I think she needs to. If she beats Asuka, I'm sure the main roster will come calling. And if Bobby Roode gets his way, the scouts will be in the building. As now, a DDT this time, it's Carmella connecting. Asuka, though, grabbed the leg and takes down Carmella. And Asuka, though, she's in trouble here. Asuka needs to find something to beat Carmella, otherwise I feel like the longer this goes on, the better chance that Carmella has. Carmella can find her best move and probably win this thing. Shot to the back there. As now Carmella, oh, that's press. Carmella now. Some big right hands and just coming to launch herself at Asuka. Going all out to try and win this thing. Cover again, could be it. Oh, a kick out again. Well, Asuka, can she survive this onslaught here by Carmella? I think Asuka might be just waiting for Carmella to make a mistake, but I'm not sure if she will. I'm not sure if a mistake is coming. If there is a mistake, then Carmella will pay for it. But right now, if she could just keep this flawless momentum going, I think she's going to win this thing. Mistake there, though, but she's able to fight back and shut down perhaps a potential fight back out of Asuka, though. And now a neck breaker. Asuka with a big counter. She needed that. Standing drop kick into the back of Carmella. Asuka now picking her up. And Asuka delivers a shot to the gut. And now here she comes. Launching the hip. And Carmella in trouble now for the Princess of Staten Island. She can't hang on. And the women's champion in NXT. Wow, she escaped this one. Pushed to her absolute limits here by Carmella. And you got to say, Carmella continues to put up the big performances. So impressive. But once again, can't find the W to her name. But Asuka, a great tune-up match. A great challenge for her. She prepares for Bayley at TakeOver, which is coming your way on BrendenPlayz this weekend. You will not want to miss it. It is going to be one of the biggest shows in recent times. A big show indeed. And Asuka will be there defending that women's championship against the lovable Bayley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for this edition of NXT. That's the big one. Dillinger and Roode one-on-one for the championship at TakeOver. You will not want to miss it. And to make sure you don't, make sure you do subscribe and click that bell so you get those notifications so you don't miss a video from me. Leave a like on this episode if you did enjoy it as well. And check out the website, BrendenPlayz.com, for all of your SummerSlam coverage as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at TakeOver.